Netflix is reportedly developing a new system to bypass Apple's App Store subscription fees, and Julia Borston has all the details for us. Hey, Julia.
Hey, well, Netflix is the highest grossing non-gaming app in Apple's App Store, but that might change. Netflix is reportedly preventing new and existing customers in 33 countries, not including the U.S., from signing up through iTunes and instead redirecting them to sign up via a mobile version of Netflix. Now, this test could turn out to be a big deal because Apple takes 30% of app subscription revenues. Its cut dropping then to 15% after the first year. Netflix telling us, quote, "We are constantly innovating and testing new sign-up approaches on different platforms to better understand what our members like. Based on what we learn, we work to improve the Netflix experience for members everywhere." Now, Macquarie estimates that Netflix could see a 1% increase to its 2019 revenue if it can move all future sign-ups to its own platform, but warns Netflix is, quote, "unlikely to see much long-term benefit if they implement these changes on the domestic side, given the already broad penetration of subscribers." Macquarie saying where Netflix could see real value is getting subscribers who currently pay through iOS to resubscribe through the web with no fees going to Apple. Now, while apps generally have very little negotiating power with Apple, especially when they're starting out, Netflix is so established that this test may provide it with ammunition to negotiate with Apple for lower fees. Guys, back over to you.
Julia, help me work through this as a consumer. If Netflix is bypassing the App Store, if I'm now going to access it, how does that happen? Do I have to open up a web page, or what would this look like?
Well, it really depends. If you're a new subscriber, Netflix could theoretically encourage you to just subscribe directly through Netflix.com, not do it through the App Store, as many people have historically. But if you're trying to renew your subscription, maybe your credit card at the end of either your credit card changes or at the end of the year, Netflix could try to get you to switch over and saying, instead of just resubscribing through iOS, as you generally have, Netflix could try to redirect you and make you open up Netflix.com on your phone or do it through the Netflix app directly. So it's too soon to say exactly what it could mean for Netflix's bottom line in particular, but it's really about getting that direct relationship with consumers. Remember, Apple is also working on its own TV service, so Netflix could be trying to take more ownership over that consumer relationship to make sure that they're not so reliant on Apple and them being sort of the gatekeepers of that consumer relationship, especially if Apple could be working on a competitor.
Julia, where are we with what apps Apple TV uses or permits versus the ones that it doesn't? They still don't allow the Amazon Prime app, is that right?
Well, what I do know is that Netflix is one of the most popular apps on the Apple platform. So there's no question that Apple wants Netflix. It needs Netflix. It wants people to be able to watch easily through all of its devices, both when you're watching on your TV screen or if you're watching on your phone. So Apple wants to be open and agnostic to the different apps on its platform, with some exceptions, as we saw with that challenge with Amazon. But they've been very close with Netflix, and it'll be interesting to see what happens if Apple becomes a real rival to Netflix in launching some sort of competitor system to Netflix. They've been, signing a lot of content deals recently, though nowhere near as much content as Netflix has.